on this lovely Saturday afternoon, at least here in Southern California, let me start this episode by tackling two big issues from this last week head on. I'm not going to turn this channel into a political channel, even though I hold very strong and very deeply held political positions. However, we can't possibly let these two issues slide. As investors, we need to know the facts. As fans, we need to be able to tell our friends and family the truth. After we talk about Ukraine and the ADL, we'll get into other news related to Tesla, the economy, and the markets. Hi, this is Randy Kirk, and if you like what I do here, and I'm not going to turn it into a political channel, trust me, that's not anything I want to do. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify. Notification, why? Because you're going to want to see what I've done tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, that's Sunday morning show is going to be a knockout. It's going to be an MBA level session about how to value Tesla stock. Anyway, you want to watch that, so hit notify, as well as, of course, Sunday night program, Monday morning, after the bell, etc. If you're not already subscribed and hitting notify, you should. And then, of course, we will, at the end of today's show, a brief mention. Okay, all right. Author Walter Isaacson took to social media Friday night to try to clarify an excerpt from his upcoming book, Elon Musk. That's the name of the book. The excerpt received swift backlash after it described how Musk thwarted a Ukrainian attack on Russian warships. By now, I know you've heard all about this. It has been headlines everywhere. Okay, his excerpt claimed that Musk, of course, he's the CEO of Tesla, we know that, and SpaceX, he ordered engineers to shut off Starlink's satellite network over Crimea last year in order to disrupt a Ukrainian military initiative. Musk's Starlink terminals arrived in the early days of the Ukrainian war with Russia as Western governments worked to supply Kiev with artillery and air defense systems. All right, so this is what the story said. Musk eventually soured on the arrangement, and he said Starlink was not meant to be involved in wars. This is according to Isaacson's portrayal in the book. The tech billionaire told Isaacson he was worried that the Ukrainian attack on Russian vessels would provoke the Kremlin into launching a nuclear war. Now, it's one thing to have one drone go out and knock out one vessel. This is Randy talking now. It's one thing to have one drone go out and knock out one vessel, and then 3 weeks later you send out another drone. You know, and I don't know the game of war. You know, there's all these games. You can only do this, and if you do that, then I'm going to do this. If you don't do that, I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But this was the concern. In a post on X late Friday, Isaacson shared new details to try to clarify his earlier point. He says the Ukrainians thought that coverage was enabled all the way to Crimea, but it was not. They asked Musk to enable it so that they could do this drone attack on the Russian fleet. And so they're saying, okay, hey, Elon, we want to go knock out the Russian fleet, everything that's in the Black Sea, their entire Black Sea fleet. And all we need you to do is turn on those Starlinks. So Musk said, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm afraid it'll start a major, it'll turn this thing into World War III. So to clarify, they thought it was enabled. It was not. So Isaacson's post came after a top aide to Ukrainian President Zelensky said, he lashed out at Musk over the excerpt. He says, oh, by not allowing the Ukrainian drones to destroy part of the Russian military fleet via Starlink interference, Elon Musk allowed the fleet to fire caliber missiles at Ukrainian cities, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, people died. Well, of course they did. That's what happens in war. That doesn't mean that Elon Musk has any obligation to anybody anywhere on the face of the earth to provide Starlink unless it's already under contract. If he's got a contract, if he had a contract, recognize, I think at this point, there was no contract for any of it. Elon was doing it all out of the goodness of his heart to help them defend themselves. And then they asked him, would you extend it? Again, out of the goodness, they didn't say, hey, we'll give you $1 billion if you do that. They didn't say, we'll sign the contract that you want us to sign. No, they said, would you just do that for us and help us knock out the Russian fleet? He's just unwilling to do that. Anyway, I can't possibly, if I was in Elon's shoes, I said this the other day, if I was in Elon's shoes the other day, there's no way. If I didn't already have a contract to provide the coverage, there is no way. If I already had the contract and I was being asked and for some reason I was aware that this attack was coming and I could stop it by stopping the coverage, even though I was under contract, boy, that's a much harder question. But unfortunately, that's not the question. What would you do if that was the situation? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's talk about ADL. So Mario Nawfal, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. I should know. I listen to him all the time. He's on Spaces all the time. So he says in a post, as usual, the media is on the. By the way, Elon said yes to this tweet or this post. After Mario put it up, Elon said yep, or something to that effect. As usual, the media is on the attack against Elon. Let's debunk some of the headlines. Number one, Elon Musk claims to be against anti-Semitism of any kind, but has done precious little to prove it. That's Fortune magazine. So Mario says, precious little. Since Elon took over, an independent research firm found that more than 99% of content users and advertisers see on Twitter is healthy. The content advertisers and users see is healthy, over 99%. And they estimated social media hate speech impressions to be 0.003% compared to Twitter's estimate of 0.012. So a small fraction of the amount. Number two, Rolling Stone said, Elon Musk blames ADL for destroying the website that he ruined himself. So Mario says, they say Elon destroyed X, yet all the metrics show that the platform is breaking records in monthly users, user minutes per day, video views, etc. So what is it that Elon did to ruin it? Number three, the claim is by NBC, civil rights groups attacked by Elon Musk are mounting a counteroffensive. This is what NBC said. They're mounting a counteroffensive. And Mario merely puts up a laughing, heartily laughing emoji and says, civil rights groups? So a lot of these groups that are attacking Elon Musk and are coming out and trying to defend ADL, a lot of them are like ADL. They're basically in the business of, I'm not going to go there. Let's just say that they're no longer interested in their original missions, or if they are interested in their original missions, they don't show it. All right, so I can go down the list. Okay, number four, this is again Mario talking. Elon Musk's, but he's quoting The Atlantic. Elon Musk's latest target hits back. He's talking about the ADL, or they are talking about the ADL. And then Mario's response is ironic how they call Elon the target when the ADL admitted to pressuring advertisers for months to leave X, dropping advertising revenue for X by 60%. All right, so anyway, I'm just reporting all of that. I'd love to hear your comments below. I have my opinion, absolutely. I'm for Elon all the way on this. And as I've pointed out before, I have multiple reasons to hate anti-Semitism at the deepest possible part of my heart. So if I thought that in any way, shape, or form he was helping anti-Semitics without, you have to be, even the American Civil Liberties Union, you may remember, I'm a graduate of law school. We studied the case. The ACLU went to bat for the Nazis in Chicago when they wanted to march because they have the right, okay? This is all Elon's talking about. You don't want to squelch speech. Okay, another clip from Isaacson's book. While Musk characterized Biden as boring as hell, he reserved a great deal of criticism for his opponent, with Musk describing Trump as kind of nuts in the book. I'm not Trump's fan, Musk told his biographer, who wrote that Musk considered Trump to be a con man. Now, there you go. Some of you could probably guess my politics. And yeah, so I'm an equal opportunity guy. All right, let's now move on to the financial side of things. Bank of America is out today with an opinion piece about the economy right now. They're saying there's a triple threat to the economy. Two of those you hear me discussing all the time: oil and interest rates / bond yields. They are now adding the strong dollar to the list. Now, I mentioned that in my analysis, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I mentioned about the strong dollar becoming an issue. As an importer and an exporter my entire life, I totally get the effect that the dollar can have on my ability to buy stuff at the right price from as an importer, my ability to sell things in other countries as an exporter. The dollar variations can be dramatic. From the time my very first experience in business, importing padlocks from Germany, I saw right away how the dollar can affect things. All right. So, but it takes months and months, because what happens is people that are in that business, they mitigate, they find ways to get over it. They find ways to not allow it to affect things in the short term, usually for the most part. So I think this is months out. The dollar would have to stay strong for a very, very long time before this will have much of an impact. So it's not something that's going to impact in this next 4, 5, 6 months. So that's where I disagree with Bank of America. So let's see. However, for now, I am ready to add in, it takes, that is not nothing. All right. It is not nothing. I'm also sad to see that Bank of America said nothing in this article about the potential offsetting issue of productivity. I've gone into this so many times. I hate to go into any depth on it again. I think I should do a whole nother show on productivity again for those of you who missed the last time, because it's been months since I talked about productivity. It is so important in this next 6 months. Let me just say it this way. Poor productivity a year ago, 6 months ago, horrible productivity numbers. So you have, let's say, an employee who's only been with you for a month and you're afraid he's going to leave. He's just been trained. He's not very productive. He's not giving you a high return on your invested dollar in him at that point. Okay. Go forward a year. He's now been with you a year. He's no longer thinking about leaving because the job market's not that great. So now he's there, he's trained, and you have confidence in him staying. He's going to be, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe double in terms of your invested dollar. His output or her output is going to be many, many, many percentages higher, if not double, maybe even triple higher than it was a year ago. You do that through the entire economy, and all of a sudden you're seeing that the cost of the finished product or the finished service is costing way less to produce because the productivity is so strong. And now you're talking about it being juxtaposed against prior year. So if it was down 3% last year in productivity month over month or year over year, and now it's up 3%, that's a 5 or 6% change. So we'll be looking at those productivity numbers. I don't think they're out for another couple of months, but they are important. This is a critical piece, and I think Bank of America should have mentioned it. All right. From Market Watch, the numbers, they say, total, this is big, this is huge and unexpected. I don't know why it didn't affect the market on Friday. I don't know why I missed it on Friday. Okay. Total consumer credit rose 10.4 billion in July, down from a revised 14 billion gain in the prior month. The Federal Reserve said Friday. That translates into a 2.5 annual rate, slower than the revised 3.4 gain in the prior month. So credit outlays are continuing to increase, but at a slower rate. The numbers, they go on to say, this is still Market Watch. Total consumer credit rose 10.4 billion in July, down from a revised I'm so sorry, I doubled that. Okay, so I don't know. This seems to suggest that Bank of America was right when they said 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago, they said the consumer has enough money in their checking and savings account to last them until the end of next summer. And so everybody got very excited that the credit outlays were getting bigger and bigger, and that this was going to be a big problem for the consumer as they got out there over their skis with regard. But no, according to this report, the consumer seems to be okay in terms of their credit situation right now. That does not mean that they're going to start buying big ticket items, though, anytime soon. I think it'll be until next spring. It takes a year to 18 months to get through these, what do you want to call it? But I forget the word I use for this, but anyway, it takes a while when you've got these crazy situations in the economy for those things to work their way through, because people bought a lot of refrigerators and a lot of stoves, et cetera, back when they had all this money coming in from the various government programs. They had all this extra money, and there was a shortage, so people were lined up to get them. And then all of a sudden, there's too many. Boom bust. That was the word I was looking for. So you get this boom bust situation going on. Well, then all of a sudden, when there's plenty of refrigerators again, nobody needs them because they already bought them. It takes 12 to 18 months for that to wash through the system. So probably after Christmas, people get done paying off their Christmas bills. I think next spring, you'll see people starting to buy those big ticket items again. All right. Remember that you want to see all 3 shows from yesterday. I will put the cards right here. And then also remember that you want to buy about 17 of these. Okay, we need a new record. Somebody bought 6 today. Up till now, we had a bunch of people buying 3, a bunch of people buying 2, a couple of people buying 4. Now we've got somebody that bought 6. These are the greatest Christmas gift ever. Are you talking? Come on now. You open this up, you give this as a gift, and somebody opens it up, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's going to be, they're not going to have a clue because nobody's got them. It's not like you can walk into JCPenney's or into Gifts R Us or whatever, or even find them online yet. I haven't put them up on Amazon yet. So when you give this as a gift, it's going to be, a one-time thing. Nobody else is going to have it. Okay. So I asked a couple of times, I said, do you drink any beer? And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't drink any beer. Maybe you don't drink beer in a bottle. Maybe you only drink it in a can. Maybe you've got your own machine at home. I don't know. But maybe I know my wife drinks these. I don't want to give these guys a plug, but a lot of people now, they want their water, their cool, fun waters out of a bottle instead of out of a plastic thing. And so it's the perfect deal, right? There you go. Hey, so they're $25 a piece. Whether you buy 1 or a million, they're $25 a piece. I'm sure if you wanted to buy enough of them, we can make a deal. Send me an email. I'll be happy to negotiate if the number is big enough. $25 a piece, or you can get one for free if you join Patreon at the $10 level. Remember, you can still get the books for free, audio books, any 2 at the $10 level, any 2 of the 4 books. I haven't been showing my backdrop for a while. I'll probably go back and put that one up again for a few days, just so you'll buy more books. The first 2 months the first 2 weeks of this month have not been great for my book sales after I started using back to my bookshelf background instead of my background showing off the 4 books. Anyway, what did I forget to tell you? Same thickness as the actual stainless steel on the Cybertruck. It is a magnet. It goes everywhere. Put one in your cooler, take it wherever you're going to go. Make sure you get one for the plane. At least you should have one for the refrigerator at home and one to take with you on your private plane. At least. Okay. All right. If you're in a foreign address, you have to add $20 to ship it to outside the United States. All right. That's all I got. I hope you've had fun today. I certainly have. This is Randy Kirk, and it's been great talking to you.